Hello everybody and welcome back to this section where we are going to start our first scanning. So we for now on only learned how to footprint things, we learned what information gathering is, what type of information gathering are there, and in this section we are going to start actually scanning our targets and see what possible further information we can get from that. So what we are looking forward to is discovering some open ports on a target system and possibly discovering a service that is running on that open port. Once we know which service and which version of service is running on that open port, then we can determine using Google search engines, different vulnerability analysis tools, we can determine whether that actual service is vulnerable to some type of exploit or not. Okay, but before we do any advanced scanning, we first are going to do a normal or a simple scan just to see what kind of output we'll get using the Nmap tool. Then after it we're going to define what type of security measurements are there that can actually stop us during our scan. We're going to define all of them and then we're going to see how we can bypass each one of them one by one. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is open up our terminal right here, and the tool that we're going to use is called Nmap. So if you simply just type here Nmap, you should see this menu right here with different options that we can actually use during our scan. Now we are not going to actually read through all of this right now, since we are only going to do a simple scan without any options specified. Once we get to the actual evasion of firewalls and so on, we're going to check out all of these different options and see what we can do. But for now on, let us simply just scan my Windows host machine to see what type of output we get. Now, in order to actually scan a machine or your target, you need to find out what is the IP address of your target. So, since I will scan my Windows 10 machine, I will simply just type command prompt in my search bar on Windows 10, and I will see what my IP address is just by typing the command ipconfig. Press here enter, and we can see right here that the IP address is 192.168.1.6. Okay, so in order to actually perform the scan on that IP address, we can simply just type nmap 192.168.1.6. Press here enter, and this will start scanning the machine. Okay, so if you press, for example, upper arrow, you will see how much it has finished. So you can see once I actually pressed the upper arrow, it was on 78%, and the scan has actually finished, and the only port that it has discovered to be open is the TCP 5357 port, which is running the service WSD API. Okay, now another information that we get from that is what it didn't show is 999 filtered ports. Now, if you see that the port is filtered, it basically means that it is ran through a firewall, and there are some firewall rules that actually filter out this port. If you see an open port, that means that it is not set through any firewall, and you can see the service running on there. Now, another thing that it prompts to us after the scan is the MAC address of our target machine, which is this one, as well as its vendor. It also at the end says one host up scanned in 7.48 seconds. Okay, so these are the information that you get with a regular scan. If you want to, until next few videos, you can check out the actual help menu of Nmap and read through these things so you can understand everything better once we actually get to them. For now on, I just want to show you the output of a simple scan, and in the future video, or in the next video actually, we are going to define what security measurements are there to prevent us from scanning target machines. Then we are going to analyze all of them, because in order to actually bypass a firewall, you need to know how firewall works. You need to know what presents a problem to a firewall. You also need to know how IDS and IPS works. You need to know what honeypots are, so you don't actually get caught during your scans and during your exploits. So we will define all of that in the next video, and then we will see how we can bypass all of them using the Nmap tool. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this short tutorial, and I hope I will see you in the next one where we will start defining security measures. Hope I see you there, and take care. Bye.